Oh boy! Oh my God! This is something. This is something that I did not see coming. That I had no intention of even entering into this room to do anything podcast related, but I actually have to. Did not want to do that. I wanted to just kind of, oh boy, all right, gonna put this all to bed, and just no big deal. Just gonna go take a little trip, get this little medical procedure done, this colonoscopy, but I must tell you about what's going on. What is in my brain right now? I said to my wife, I go, I can't not do this. And she goes, oh, I wouldn't do it. And I said, no, I have to. I must talk. Because if I don't go into detail about what is on my mind right now, the moment will be lost, and it must be described right now. And I'm going to do it right now. I'm not screwing with you in any way, shape, or form. I'm just going to talk to you about what has been happening and where my mind has been and the things that I've experienced. And witnessed myself that I'm like, what the hell? What is happening? In 15 minutes, I leave to go to the hospital for this colonoscopy. Yesterday, I took 4 laxatives. The directions say take 4 laxatives. Then you take that giant jug that I showed you that's full of some medicine that cleans you out. What I talked about this in yesterday's podcast about modern medicine. How did they come up with such a perfect thing to actually do what it does? How did they figure this out? This is why people go to school to learn these things. Someone had to at some point figure this out, that if you blend these chemicals together and then you mix it with water and drink it, it perfectly eliminates your colon, okay? That there had to be some type of trial and error where the guy was like, oh no, a little bit more of this, okay. Oh, okay, now drink it for a day and then shit it all out. Oh, no, you need a little bit more. So they actually had to blend this and come up with this right recipe of whatever these chemicals are that you ingest. So it's actually in the container. The lady told me to mix Gatorade. She goes, it's much better with Gatorade. Okay, so Diana suggested no sugar Gatorade because it's actually it's too sweet if you use regular Gatorade. So I pour all the Gatorade in there. I shake it up. And at between 4 and 5, I drink my first 8 ounces. And right away, I went, no. There's no way possible this is going to work. I've got another 100 and wait, how many? 30, 60, 120, well, 116 more ounces of this, right? I think. Yeah. 120 more ounces of this. And I learned very quickly. And then every 10, 15 minutes, you got to drink that stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Brian's going through this. He's got a digestive issue right now. He's had to. So let me just say that after it really kicks in, first of all, you get this cramping feeling. And the ladies were right. Stevie had talked about that. There's like you've got like you ate something that's bad. And it's like, oh boy, I don't feel good. And then it starts to happen. I'll spare you no, I'm not going to spare you the gore because this is, you got to go full gore to understand what's happening here. And because some of you are young enough that you haven't had to deal with this. Now, someone like Brian there, he shouldn't have to deal with this anyway because he's much too young to have to experience this, but he's having a digestive issue right now. Josh Brown has had digestive issues since his early 30s, for God's sake. So you've lived this, but when this does start to kick in, you ever be washing your car and, if you have the hose and you know how there's the nozzle that you squeeze to get the water to shoot out onto the car? Well, imagine that nozzle's not on there and you just put your thumb over the end of it and the water's on high and it shoots out every direction. That's what my asshole was doing. The amount of, the asshole likes solid material. It doesn't like liquid. So it's not really equipped for a nice, gentle release of what is in there. So everything's so tight in my asshole that if I even barely push, it comes flying out at such a fucking volume. You know that scene in the new Top Gun movie when he's at Mach 10? I think it was that speed. I was like, oh my God. I was amazed at the force at which it was hitting the water. It was like, it made this noise I've never heard leaving my ass. And I was like, this is incredible. And it wasn't more than a few times of this activity taking place when I would get up and peer into the toilet and there was no brown in the water. It was very early on here that everything was cleaned out. And it's as if there's little guys in your colon scrubbing the inside of it with a brush. It is so ridiculous. And this is key because, the doc needs to get a nice clear view of the inside of my asshole. And it is just, what a thorough job. And I got it all, drank all the stuff down, and it was just, I just hated it. At some point, what the fuck I can't even think. Oh, and then it's time to go to bed. And I'm like, well, I just, and that I learned early on when I first started doing it, don't try to gamble on a fart, because I felt like I had to fart and there was no fart. It was a full on blast and it did not leave. It did not touch cloth. I stopped it. It was one of those interruptus things. Fuck. And then, so at that point on, it's like, I'm not going to do that at all. And that all happened. And then I went to bed, and then I had to get up a few times. So at about midnight, I actually was able to go to sleep. And then I woke up, and then it's still happening. It's still happening. And my weight is, I'm down to 172 pounds. You know those commercials you hear about? there's so and so amount of fecal waste. Well, that's true. And so I haven't eaten for more than 24 hours, and all of this cleansing period. It's you know what else is remarkable? When after it's all cleaned out, you know that it's good. What is in the toilet is the same color as what you drank, which is kind of like a Gatorade green color. It was identical. I wonder if, I could have just done it right into a bottle and refrigerated it and drank it again. I don't think it would have mattered. There was no odor, and it's just, that's what you had. We're all going to have to experience this. If anyone listening is hearing this, you have to understand that at some point you are going to have to do this. So I want you to make sure you know exactly where this episode is of what I'm talking about so you can know what to expect. I actually feel pretty good that all this gross material is out of my body. I feel surprisingly energetic despite not eating for quite some time. But no, it was remarkable. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, Jesus, is still happening. So, okay, that's about it. I mean, I wanted to capture this gore fest that was all of this, all right? Because, I'm going to go on this trip, and I'm going to go up north, for God's sake. Come back, and then I didn't want to have to, I wanted to speak while it's still fresh in my brain. So that's it. All right? I'm about to go to the hospital right now. I know that people have been suggesting that video be shot of when I'm like coming out of the sedation. I can promise you she will be up to no good and will have material of that. My God. But that was a drag. That was an absolute drag. I think that's the worst of it, though. The suggestion was made. I see that this is what porn stars have to, and that's true. Porn stars, if they're going to shoot a scene where there's butt play involved, that's like, this is a very important thing. This is why they make so much money for those shoots. Talked about that earlier this week. Okay, so officially, that's it. I am going to be on Big 101.3 this weekend and all of next week, afternoon drive, on the world famous Voice Track. So it's all done. In fact, I was sitting here yesterday doing voice tracks on Big 101.3. Just know this. If you happen to be listening to the radio and you hear me on Big 101.3, in between those little talk sets where I talk for 15, 20 seconds at a time or whatever, I'm running to the bathroom. Okay? That actually happened. Kenny with Joke of the Day writes, "You're all ready for ass-to-mouth scenes now." Oh. Fuck. All right. That's it. You guys have a good one. Unless there's a catastrophe, I won't talk to you again for a little while. I did post the Lost Zane recordings today. I will make those available for the time that I'm away. And, all right, I can't really say for sure what else is going on. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. You're awesome, and I cannot wait to talk to you again. So